So I've been debating on whether I want to share this because it's kind of personal, but I think it will be good to give just perspective on what I'm talking about, and I think a lot of you can probably relate to it as well. So throughout my life, when it comes to dating, seems like every time I find somebody that I actually enjoy being around and like, something always happens. It might be a month into it, 2 or 3 months, or but something seems like something always happens, and then it just doesn't work out. And going through those recurring patterns in life, they've kind of taught me to not even get my hopes up. Every time I meet someone, I find I'm couching my expectations just in case this happens again. And sure enough, I met a girl a few weeks ago. We started dating. Things were going really well, and then just didn't work out again. We had made plans Sunday, and of course they fell through, and it was really weird. Through the whole week, I had this gut feel, this intuition that it just wasn't going to work, but I kind of tried to deny it. So then, when the plans fell through, I was pretty disappointed and kind of just upset at the whole situation, kind of, like that feeling, why is this happening again? Why me? Blah, whenever you feel real down and kind of, down on yourself. But it really got me to thinking about disappointments and facing disappointments, and how do we move forward in life when it seems like every time we get our hopes up, we eventually get disappointed. I guess one track we could take is we could just stop dreaming. When we're young, the world is our oyster. We dream really big. Nothing can stop us. There's no contingency plans or what ifs. We know what we want, and we know how we're going to get there. But as we get older, our dreams tend to get smaller. They get safer. They get more realistic. We start listening more to society and what everyone around us tells us rather than our own inner voices. And we start thinking, realistically rather than listening to our hearts. We stop dreaming and we stop hoping because we learn that hope leads to disappointment, and we'd rather be safe than be disappointed again. But that doesn't make sense to me. Avoiding pain and suffering and disappointment in life as your primary goal, that doesn't make sense. Pain and suffering and disappointment, that's just part of our physical reality. It is every bit as unavoidable as death. So if you go through your whole life with the goal of avoiding pain and disappointment, maybe you will avoid a lot of pain and disappointment, but it's still going to come. And at the end, what is it going to leave you with? Is it going to leave you with a life that you would really enjoy, because you're going to die one day? And when you look back on it, what are you going to see? Are you going to see a life that you lived safely, that you lived to avoid disappointment and pain? Maybe it's a life that's pretty mediocre, a life that has nothing to be excited about because you didn't take any risks, because you wanted to avoid the pain. I don't know, but I do know this. I know if your main goal is to avoid pain and disappointment, then you're not going to dream big enough, you're not going to have the motivation, and you're not going to take the risks that are required for true greatness. So what do we do when we're faced with disappointment? First, we need to accept it. Just accept that this is part of life and part of your journey. Next, we'll want to use that time of low energy for introspection, to learn more about ourselves and our journey, and learn the lessons that we can from the situation. And then it's time to man up and drive on. So you don't need to think of failures and disappointments in life as an end to your journey. That doesn't mean that you're not cut out for your dreams, that you'll never accomplish your dreams. To me, every time I fail, every time I have a disappointment, that's a gut check from the universe. To me, that's the universe's way of testing to see whether I really want and deserve my deepest desires. Because if you're ready to give up and quit as soon as the going gets tough, then you don't deserve whatever it is that you're going after. You really don't deserve it. The only things worth having in life are the things that are difficult to achieve. Nobody cares if you're fat and overweight, because that's easy. That doesn't take effort. That is not something that is difficult to achieve. It's not a challenge. There are no obstacles. There are no disappointments. You just eat. You sit there and you eat, and it's that easy. So why would you want life to be easy? If life were easy, it would be meaningless. It would be pointless. Our accomplishments would be meaningless. So having a lot of failures and disappointments on your journey, that's a good sign. That means you're doing something worth doing. And if you can persevere through it, you can drive on, you come out the other side, you're going to be a much better person for it. you're going to accomplish something that others didn't have the intestinal fortitude to accomplish. I'm fired up now, so that's what you got to ask yourself. You got to ask yourself, who do you want to be in life? Do you want to be somebody great? Do you want to accomplish something great? Or do you want to play it safe? That's the question.